turned over and filled with sand to block landing areas. During the early part of the war, hundreds of children were evacuated from London to Eastbourne, but by the middle of 1940, everyone except those doing essential work were sent away from the town. This area was hit more often in raids than any other town in the south coast, doubtless because it was so close to the RAF listening stations. In the second half of 1942, fighter bomber raids inflicted heavy casualties and damage to Eastbourne and its population for almost a year, and December 1943 saw 32 people killed in one single day. In total, there were 112 bombing raids in Eastbourne, over 11,000 properties were damaged and destroyed, over 1,400 people were seriously injured, and 174 killed. In 1945, Eastbourne's evacuated population of over 40,000 returned to their town to find many familiar places devastated in ruins and barely recognisable. As we carry on driving across the downs, you'll notice lots of sheep. Lambing season starts in the early spring, when almost 50 million ewes are preparing to give birth around the UK. The sheep hereabouts are known as mules by the farmers and are crossbreeds using stock such as Suffolk, Rodney Marsh and Welsh. Soon we reach Warren Hill, offering a downland walk with panoramic views across Eastbourne and the South Downs. Ding the bell if you would like to stop at Warren Hill. You'll now get to see the wonderful panoramas of Eastbourne on a clear day. In the distance beyond the promenades is an area known locally as the Crumbles. This vast area of shingle stretching from Eastbourne to Pennington Bay. Part of this has in the last 30 years been developed into a magnificent waterfront marina. The complex, known as Sovereign Harbour, and covers 365 acres with 2 locked harbours and opened in 1993. The harbour development provides almost 5,000 homes, along with waterside shops, restaurants and mooring facilities for hundreds of small craft. 2,000 years ago, the Crumbles Bay area was used by the Romans, and William the Conqueror landed there in 1066 before the Battle of Hastings. Over the last 2 millennia, the area has silted up with pebbles. We descended into the town from the downs by a different route, passing close to Leeds Village, still today a more exclusive address, where grand property was built during the late Victorian era, and much of this survives intact today. In 2014, skeletal remains of a young woman who lived around 425 AD were discovered in the vicinity of the Downland estate. On our left, we pass the Chelsea College complex, which nowadays forms the Eastbourne campus of Brighton University. The 18th and 19th centuries would see Eastbourne change from a small village into a bustling town, everything changing after the Prince Regent made Brighton into a popular health resort and built a flamboyant port pavilion there. 2 monarchs visited the quiet fishing community in the Middle Ages, Henry I and Edward II, both staying in the manor house near the centre of the town off the area known as the Goths. The population doubled every 10 years in the mid-19th century, with the arrival of the railways in 1849, adding tourism to the town's attributes. The population grew from a little over 3,000 in 1851 to 22,000 in 1881. And today it's over 100,000. Electricity came early to Eastbourne, and the first building to be illuminated was the Floral Hall in 1881, and the first public lighting was seen in September 1882. We skirt Compton Place. Locals seated the Duke of Devonshire in times past before, passing the world-famous Saffron Sports Club, where many most famous cricketers in the world have plied their trade. And still today, Sussex CCC play some competitive cricket, while top-class bowls and squash facilities are available to members. At Eastbourne Town FC,